Hello. So now is the K hand shape. And people have a problem with this hand shape. It's not a problem. You get your index finger and it goes straight out. Then your middle finger just goes straight out, right? And the thumb is in the middle. And it's almost like a support. But it's a K. It's not really hard. It takes practice, just like with some of the other hand shapes. And if you turn it upside down, it's a P. So it's still called a K hand shape, even though it's the letter K and upside down is P. And you'll see that in a second. So the first hand shape is kitchen. You can do different things for kitchen. Kitchen, remember, it's the same hand shape, so you get a lot of practice. Kitchen, like you're cooking something. Like this is pancake or to cook, and you go back and forth. That's how it started, so K for kitchen. Some people do a K for kitchen, and it depends on the accent and where they're from. So you just never know. You just try. If you do one sign and it doesn't work out, you try the next one. So it's always good to know several signs. Philadelphia. I don't use this one very much because I don't know if people from Philadelphia use it, but that is, and it's like it goes here, goes across, and goes like in a sash down. Philadelphia. Purple. Remember, I said sometimes it'll be upside down. Purple. Another color, pink, and it's most of the colors I said is right here, but like pink and red is on right here, like for lipstick, right? You know, women will put pink or red. So for pink, you just like you're putting it on your lips. I don't touch it because I don't want my lipstick. And then purple. The two of us. Remember, this is the K hand shape. You're not changing it. The two of us. The two of us are going to go to the store. The two of us, we're going to go to the museum. Oh, the two of us, we're wearing the same thing. Cool. Philosophy. Because it's on your head. You remember we did, the super smart and genius intelligence. It's up here, philosophy. Remember, political's this way. Philosophy. Like I said, you could. I'm going to go backwards because I said both of us, the two of us, and that's if you're doing three. Like if you're doing the three of us, we're going to go shopping. But a K hand shape, the two of us, both of us, it's the same concept. I forgot to mention that to you. Okay. Poison. I don't use this one too much. Poison. Most of when I do poisons like the skull and bones, but poison, some people do that. And the reason I don't do that is because I also use that for pickle. But like I said, I'm from in the South, so we have different accents. But it's always good to know. Usually we said bathroom, but also if you have to go to the restroom, you have to urinate. I want you to give me a urine sample. So this one, and yes, it is like for pee. I have to go pee, but I always, if I'm interpreting, then I always say urinate. So if I like to kind of keep that in my mind. So it's a urine sample or I need to urinate. Remember, K hand shape, we're not changing it. King is, remember the sash for like Christ, we did all those. King. Prince is the same, so we do a king, and then we do a prince, so you can change that wrist. King, prince, princess. Remember Philadelphia? Princess. And so usually you're going to understand the context. If you're talking about, if you're telling, about, the princess in England, you're not going to say, you mean Philadelphia in England? I mean, it's not going to change, especially when you're working in context. A patient. Remember we did hospital with the H hand shape, hospital. Now we do a P for a patient, or a K hand shape. It's a P for patient. And sometimes you have to just kind of keep in mind what you're doing for that hand shape. It's still a K hand shape. I mean, if someone asks me, what hand shape is that? K for patient, and they're going, but if you put it upside down, remember it's a P. So that's how I remember it. Or it's just easier, you just click to it. And of course now I'm used to it, but when I was first starting out, that's how I'd see it. Personality. Remember we did character, personality. K hand shape, but you can think P, because P is upside down, and K, and this is K. But still a K hand shape. You understand what I'm saying? So personality. And that's all for the K. If we want to go ahead and do L, because it's short, we'll do that. So an L hand shape. So if you want to drill, sometimes you need to do the sound effects in your brain. And plus it's just fun when you're learning. Landlord, LL, landlord. Remember we talked about direction. So if I'm talking about to the left, I'm not going to be from that person's perspective and go left. I'm going to go to my perspective, left. Because L, it's real obvious, right? You're going to the left, you're going to the right. People get it. Even if when I see it, I understand it. They're doing this way. Oh, so I go to the right. It's not going to mess them up going, well, they did it to my right. Which way am I going? No, left. You're going left. I mean, if you really want to do it from that perspective, you can. But they're not going to misunderstand. Library. You just go around in a circle. Library. If we're going to be, like if you're in a school or if you're playing a game, we're going to take turns. So if we're in a circle, let's say, we're going to go, we're going to just take turns. But for you and I are taking turns. Like, I'll do it one time and then finish, and then it's your turn. Your turn going around in a circle if we're playing a game, or you and I are going to be taking turns doing something. Hair dryer. And I think most people, this is almost a universal. You're drying your hair. Me, it takes forever, right? My husband, finish. He would like that. Okay. So, let's say you're in a club meeting and anyone have a motion? Oh, me. I need a second. L hand shape. I need a second. Also, assistant. To assist, or an assistant. A counselor. Those kinds of things. An assistant. Latin. Remember, and you can do all kinds of, we did Hispanic, or, you can do Latin, any type of, sometimes if you want to initialize, but this is also Latin. I don't know, it's the nose deal, but that's just where it is, right? For Lincoln, the president, and it's always in the head because they were in charge, and it's also close to politics. So, Lincoln, the president, it could also be Lincoln, Nebraska. If you want to do London, then we go around. And why do we go around? Not because they're crazy, it's because the clock, that big tower with the clock. London. Lemon. Remember we talked about sweet and sugar and things like that, and I said, it's kind of close to bitter. Lemon. See, that's kind of the same thing. It's not sweet, it's kind of tart, right? So there. Lunch. Remember we did the breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Lunch. Eat at noon, lunch. And remember we did gay and lesbian? Gay and lesbian. Like if you're doing LGBTQ++, you can do that. You can spell it. But it's harder to spell the lesbian, and this is what the deaf community came up with, gay and lesbian. The other ones, it's included all in that acronym now. But sometimes it's harder to remember LGBTQ++, and I think it has AA on there too. And so I took two workshops on that, and so they had the acronym. And sometimes I mess up, but if you get kind of close to it, you understand that they're talking about that community. All right. Remember we did landlord, but if you're talking about a lord in a religious term, or even if you're talking about a landlord like in Europe, they would have they were called lords, and that's where we got the term from, landlord, right, for our apartment or our house. It was that's a more of an archaic term, and probably used more if you're talking about history, a landlord, and they were called a lord. Lazy, L handshake, lazy. Remember, we did Congress and we did board. Now we've got the legislature, L handshake, legislature. A shooter. Some people will do this, and I think we did I don't know if we did the H handshake with that one, but we do mostly do with the gun or a shooter. L handshake. This is also the number 21. 21. It's not going to be right. It's close to it. Laugh. LOL. You could do LOL or ha ha ha. Ha ha. Laugh. Same thing. Who is kind of a L handshake. Who. And remember, I did a check mark for because. I told you that sometimes we do because we do a check mark. If you go and get a shot or an injection, this is also the sign for Coca-Cola. You could also do it but we do this for cocaine. So this is for, it's like, oh, you want a Coke? Yeah, give me a Coke. And it's just used for more of a soft drink than an actual drug. But if you get an injection, like when we had all the COVID injections, people go, no, I'm too scared. But we do that. Okay. To blink or to wink, blink, wink, L handshake. Kind of a modified to drink. Remember, this is the alcoholic drink. This is a drink for any other thing, but this is more alcoholic drink. Remember, this is the sun. Here's the moon. Remember, we did cop. It's a C. It seems like a C handshake, but it's just a kind of a lazy L. And if we did an operator or a relay, L handshake, relay operator, because they had the headsets on, right? So we'll do one more, like when we did this whole banner sash, like Miss America. That's what I always think of instead of royalty, but they do have one, right? They also do it for the Daughters of American Revolution. But if you wanted to do any type of royal thing, remember how we did wreath like this? It's the same thing as the shape of that banner. Anything that's royal. Oh, the royal family. Royal. Tattoos. And I just make a dot. I'm not making a super shape, but got a tattoo. Oh, I like your tattoo. Or how many do you have? How many tattoos you have? Tattoo. Italy, remember that was an I, but some people will do it with that, that a shape, Italy. But I still do Italy, and I see that more. I don't see any other sign for Italy. If you're interested in something, oh, interesting, or I'm interested in doing that, or I'm interested to see that movie. Interesting. Mm-hmm. So it's an L handshake, but some of them kind of make a movement, and so it's not a stiff L handshake. So watch this video again and again, please, so that you can practice and you can see it. The next thing we'll do is the M handshake. Remember my M on my fingers, but M is more clear, right? But an M handshake is what we're going to be doing next time. So I'll see you soon, and happy practicing.